Okay.
You ready?
Yes, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
We're the Vestal family. A few years ago, we decided to start our family by adopting a child from China. Any international adoption is full of highs and lows and ups and downs, but one thing we never anticipated was a global pandemic. So, we want to take you along on our international adoption journey so that you can see what it's really like to adopt a child from another country.
All right, so it has been a while since we've had an adoption update here on the channel, and that's because for a long time there was nothing happening. And then about 3 months ago, Penny Lane's being sassy. Then about 3 months ago, a lot changed very quickly. And to be honest, it's been a very emotional process the past couple of months. And so I think especially me, like I just haven't felt ready to talk about it with too many people yet. But I'm feeling better now, and I'm feeling at a place where I am a little more open and ready to share what's going on with the adoption with other people. So I thought, let's do an update here on the channel. But here we go. So if you have followed our adoption vlogs, you probably have seen that about 2 years ago, we started the process of adopting from China. And around the time that we started that process, COVID happened, which is something none of us expected, and it's had a huge impact on the international adoption community. And so a few months after we were into the adoption process, China basically halted all aspects of their adoptions. They basically put their program on pause, and everybody just kind of thought that that was going to be a temporary thing. But here we are 2 years later, and they still have not resumed the program yet, because they're worried about the safety of the children with the pandemic still being ongoing. And so we've been kind of in this position, like, do we keep waiting? We have no idea how long the wait is going to be. Meetings we have, there's no way to know for certain, but it sounds like it's still going to be a very long wait to adopt from China, likely several more years in addition to the 2 years that we have already spent waiting. And so ultimately, after several meetings with our social worker and adoption agency, we decided to pursue an adoption from another country because we are really ready to begin our family. And so then we kind of had to go back to the drawing board and looking at different countries and what we are eligible to adopt from, and what's moving right now in light of the pandemic. And ultimately we decided that India would be a good option for our family. Their adoption program really has not slowed down that much in light of everything happening with the pandemic. So they're hoping they can move us through the program in about 18 to 24 months, which is very good for an international adoption. And we meet all of the requirements to adopt from that country. So right now we are pursuing India wholeheartedly. We're very excited about it. We've been learning so much about Indian culture and holidays and traditions, and it's something that we are very excited to incorporate into our home. So right now that is our main focus, but we're not done with China yet. So do you want to share a little bit about where we're at with China right now?
Yeah, so our hope is that everything in China that we've already done, all the money, all the paperwork, all that blood, sweat, and tears that we have put into China will remain there, kind of frozen in a way. And again, like Meghan was saying, we don't know when China will reopen. In fact, it was recently that China just shut down again in certain cities. So we're kind of in a long waiting game with them. So our hope is that everything would just stay frozen there, and then concurrently we'll be adopting from India. And so our hope is once we finalize with India, get through that process, bring our little girl home, then hopefully in the future we can pick back up where we started with China, and continue on from there. Our hope was always to bring two home, and we thought about doing sibling groups through China for a while, and we were kind of advised against that, especially since it would be our first. So this is a long roundabout way of accomplishing that goal, but that's our goal, and it's really cool that we're able to do this and that our adoption agency has really been on board with us doing this as well. So it'll be interesting. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so that's definitely our hope, is that right now we can bring home a little girl from India, and then hopefully in a few years hopefully the world will be a little bit more back to normal, and countries will be able to travel, and things will be much easier so that they can resume their adoption program, and then we'll be able to complete a second adoption there. But just to give you guys kind of an idea of where we're at in the process, like we said, this all has been transpiring over the past 3 months. So we've actually gotten quite a lot done. There were several approvals that needed to happen because technically we have 2 adoptions happening at the same time. So we had to get a lot of approvals to be able to be processing 2 adoptions at the same time. And we've gotten all of those approvals that we needed. If you've seen our former adoption vlogs, everything in China is done. So it's just sitting there, and then India is becoming the priority. And we've done some adoption vlogs where we really showed the process for adopting from China. And adopting from India is a lot different. If you saw any of those vlogs, pretty much for China, you do everything at one time and submit it all at once. India is a little bit different. Everything's kind of broken up into pieces. So you do a certain amount of work, submit it, then you wait for approvals, do some more work and submit it. So where we're at with India right now is we actually have almost all of the first chunk of work done, which is very exciting for us because once that first chunk of work is submitted, we can be matched with a child. So we are hoping to get all of that submitted within the next month or so. We're just waiting on our home study to be updated. They have to redo the home study report specifically for India. So we're just waiting for that update to go through. And then once that goes through, we'll be submitting this first batch of work, and then we'll just be waiting for a match, which is so exciting. Because with China, when we submitted everything, everything was closed. So we had done all the work, but there was not that excitement of, oh, we're going to get matched soon. So we do feel excited about this because it feels like we're doing the work and hopefully we're going to get matched within a couple of months. Yeah. So that's very exciting.
We're kind of becoming adoption paperwork professionals.
Yes.
With all the notaries and appointments and paperwork. Yeah, I think we've got it down. We had a little trial run, and now we're actually doing it.
Yeah, I will say going through it this time, it does feel like, even though it is a little bit different with India and adoption is never easy, it's so much work, I feel like we do know what we're doing this time. We're not like crawling through the dark, which is how I felt the whole time we were going through China.
We have a better idea what needs to happen.
Yeah. So that has been nice.
I will say it's interesting, the dynamics. When we had the call with was it the State Department about China and kind of what was going on. It's interesting just to see how there have been some who have been matched for a few years with their kids, and just with COVID they haven't been able to go over and get them, and it's just a very heartbreaking situation. And I think for us, if we were matched, it would have been a little bit tougher of a situation to transition into India. But I think it's going to be interesting to see, like you were talking about, with the differences of China and versus India. We could get matched, and that kind of gives us some extra motivation to get this other paperwork done. So I'm really excited to see how this all pans out. And then, like we said, we'll pick back up with China in a few years, and then maybe we'll keep going. I keep telling her we'll get addicted to it and keep going.
He's getting a little ahead of himself there.
I'm just so excited.
But yeah, that is where we are at in our adoption journey right now. We'll definitely be making some videos showing you more of the India adoption process like we did with China and keeping you guys updated. But if there's any questions you have about India or China adoptions, or just things that you would like to see in our adoption process, go ahead and leave comments below. That kind of gives us an idea of what we should be incorporating into these adoption vlogs. But we really do appreciate all the support that we've gotten since we've started these. Lots of sweet comments and messages, some donations through our GoFundMe page. And those things have really meant so much to us, because being in the process where we were going through an adoption and then the country kind of closed down and now we're having to start all over again, it's been extremely emotional. So when people reach out and are encouraging, it just really means a lot to us. So thank you for doing that.
Yes, thank you very much. And it's just been a huge help and support.
Yeah, so we will keep you guys updated. So if you're not already, make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you can get those updates, and we will see you in the next adoption vlog.